So, I mean, zombies are life and death, people. According to statistics, 72% of people are unprepared for a zombie apocalypse. And although that's an improvement from the 96% we saw in the 1960s, it's really still too many. So, I guess I'll give you guys a little tutorial about how to survive a zombie apocalypse. Like, how to make a camp, how to forage, and how to go fight zombies, if you need to. First up, we have camping, which is by far the most important part of surviving a zombie apocalypse. Your first step is to select a location. Now, if you're middle class, your house should work just fine. But if you're upper middle class or wealthy, then your house is almost certainly going to be too big. And your 5-car garage is going to be a much better base camp than your mansion. Your next step is to hoard food. You're going to want to get lots of canned food, stuff like soup, chili, corn, that kind of thing. Non-perishable, dried food works too. I also recommend having hot sauce since canned food gets pretty bland after a little while. Third step is to make sure that you always have water. Either lots of it in big bottles or a sink that still works. After you run out, you might need to go get some more. This is where you need to learn how to forage.
The first step in foraging, and often the hardest, is leaving your camp. I like to throw a teddy bear or something to distract the zombies while I make my escape. It's important to always have an area of search in mind before you go out foraging, since searching around for one is going to waste a lot of time. You should remember to never approach another survivor's camp, as they may be hostile. When foraging, you want to look for stuff like cans, dried food, and hot sauce, and water, all the things that you would hoard normally in your camp. You also want to avoid eating cans that are already open, as they more than likely contain some sort of disease. Look for stuff inside cupboards and refrigerators.
Okay, and next on our list, and last, is zombie conflict, or how to fight zombies. Zombie conflict is kind of an art, and there's not a lot I can teach you about it, except for maybe pick your weapon well. You could have anything from a shotgun to a machete to a compound bow, though I do advise you to use something that you know how to use. I mean, if you're just some accountant and you grab some nunchucks, then you're just a dude swinging around nunchucks, and you're probably not going to do very much damage to the zombies. In a zombie apocalypse, you always want to know what you're doing, because you never know when tons and tons of zombies are going to start coming out of the woodwork and trying to eat your brain. So, I guess that's all I can teach you. When zombies come, just try to remember these 3 things that I've taught you, and who knows, you might get to keep your brain. Oh.
Oh yeah. You gotta do the best you can. And work out twice a day. Don't ask me why I said it. Because I already forgot.